member at Newcraigs. I'm going to let you into a bit of a secret, which is that I have a deep-seated fear that one day at my funeral, someone is going to stand up and say, "Jo was a great person despite the challenges she faced." You see, when I was 8, it became apparent that my body doesn't work the way it should. And actually, I've not had a day without pain since July 1999. And over the years, I've experienced pain, sickness, different levels of disability, and all manner of unpleasant hospital procedures. For the last few years, I've been a full-time wheelchair user. We encourage children as they grow into teenagers and then on into young adults to explore their passions, discover their strengths, and work out who they want to be and what they want to do. As a teenager, I felt robbed of the opportunity to define myself as who I wanted to be according to my passions, because every decision was affected by my health. Then I missed some exams and quite a lot of school due to poor health, and my reports often said things like, "Jo did well despite the extenuating circumstances," or "a good achievement despite the number of classes missed." I resented my achievements and failures always coming with a caveat of something health related. And despite me being a Christian, I resented God for not letting me be who I wanted to be. The resentment has come with me into adulthood. I still cringe when someone caveats one of my achievements or failures in terms of my health. To be honest, I've heard it so much now that I've even caught myself doing it a few times, and that's really made my toes curl. Later this year I turned 30, which is a milestone that some doctors didn't think I'd reach. And with all this extra time that the coronavirus lockdown has brought to sit and reflect on life, I've been thinking back over my 20s. One of the things that struck me was that while I still don't like my identity being defined by my health and disabilities, I don't harbour that same level of resentment towards my situation and towards my body. So what's changed? I've spent quite a lot of time learning about many people in the Bible who had various ailments and how God used them, but more importantly, how God looked at their responses and actions to define their worth, not their bodily imperfections. And in time, that has led me to a deeper understanding of what it means to be a Christian and a child of God. And I have found peace in my identity in Christ, rather than focusing on my worldly identity, which I was so worried was being warped by my health. Last year, I was challenged by some of the Psalms that David writes, where he is clearly suffering, but he still praises God with heartfelt thanks. I decided in 2020 to use the 1 Second Everyday app to film a second every day that I am grateful for, and then to give God thanks for my blessings. I found this really helpful, as it's taken my focus off the negatives of my situation and onto the abundant blessings that God has given me. I've also come to realise, with the benefit of some hindsight, that my poor health has indeed opened up opportunities and experiences that I could never have had if my body worked better. And that even though I'm disabled and sometimes feel beyond useless, God can still use me in ways I wouldn't have thought possible. And ultimately, he does have a plan for my life. Last Thursday, my health took a bit of a blow, and it's something that would have previously sent me into a pit of despair and self-pity. But focusing on God's blessings and actively thanking him for them has helped me to keep it a little bit more in perspective, even though I still felt really disappointed. Just because I'm a Christian, it doesn't mean I have life sorted or don't feel the sadness that life brings. I still mess up really quite often and do things pretty much every day that I regret. But I'm so grateful to God for the sacrifice of Jesus Christ that means I can become a child of God, not by my own works, but purely by his grace. And in him, my identity is not defined by my health or my physical abilities.